Now we move to this moment now.
Did Hunter Biden commit a crime? Have you spoken to your son, Mr. President-elect?
Proud of my son.
President Biden there defending his son Hunter, who is facing his first criminal trial in less than 2 weeks. Now we're learning his ex-wife and 2 of his ex-girlfriends are expected to testify. Kim Strassel is a Wall Street Journal columnist and author of The Biden Malaise. She's also a Fox News contributor. And last week in the Wall Street Journal, you wrote a piece that said, America's going to be hearing a lot more about Hunter Biden soon, and soon indeed. June 3rd is when this trial starts. That's a week after we get closing arguments in the New York trial of Trump. So what should people know about this case that Hunter Biden has to face in less than 2 weeks?
Well, you guys just mentioned that witness list, and I think it's a reminder to people that this trial, and it does look as though it's going to go forward on those dates because the appeals by Hunter's team continue to fail to delay it. But what we're finding is that prosecutors have worked with his former wife, 2 of his former girlfriends, one of whom, of course, is the widow of his older brother, Beau, who died. And that they have given some very damning testimony that this case is going to be deeply personal and potentially embarrassing for the entire Biden family. Because remember what's at stake here in the gun trial. Hunter stands accused of signing a form that claimed that he was not using illicit substances or an addict at the time he purchased a firearm. So the prosecutor's entire job is to, in fact, show that he was using and that he was an addict. And what we can see from some of this early witness testimony is it's going to be a number of, again, deeply embarrassing stories about his conduct, conversations with the family. So this is going to affect the entire Biden tribe.
You know, it was obvious he had a problem, and it was a problem he couldn't kick, at least for a time. Here's some of the testimony from what's described as witness number 1. Now, keep in mind, just to repeat, that his ex-wife and 2 ex-girlfriends are set to testify. All right, here we go. Witness 1 was previously married to the defendant. They divorced in April of 2017, but through 2018, she would check his vehicle from time to time because she did not want their children in a vehicle with drugs. While searching his vehicle, she found drugs or paraphernalia on approximately a dozen occasions, which she discarded in a trash can, end quote. At a minimum, you're right. You're right, Kimberly. This is not good, and it's an embarrassment for the family.
Well, and remember, too, I think this is also really important, is that if they're going to try to prove he's an addict, it's one thing to show he's using. But if you're going to try to prove he's an addict, you have to delve into the things that suggest someone's an addict. Erratic behavior, extravagant lifestyle, failing to pay bills. I mean, this is all going to be about the worst aspects of Hunter's character. And moreover, prosecutors being what they are, they're going to want to try this beyond a reasonable doubt. So they're going to pile this evidence on. And we're already seeing the defense attorneys are going to try to ask for limits on just how far these witnesses can go. But again, if the goal here is to prove addiction, I think the judge might be pretty lenient in terms of what she allows people to say up on the stand.
Last question, Kim, maybe just a thought about the fact that this trial happening right in the middle of the presidential campaign, but also right before the first presidential debate.
Yeah, you know, last time around, remember, Joe Biden went up there on stage. A lot of this had just come out in the New York Post about the laptop. There was censorship going on. A lot of it was unvetted. Donald Trump tried to get some traction with it. The president shut it down. He had a lot of help from the media. A lot of this now has been proven. There are federal indictments. You have a Republican investigation documenting the money, the gains, a lot of the drug behavior. So there's not going to be any ducking it this time around as the 2 men go up on that debate stage.
Hey, it's good to see you on our show. Love to have you, Kim Strassel. Thank you.
Thanks
Kimberly.
for having me.
Talk real soon.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.